what without giving too much away, what's kind of your style? How might things be different than when Andy was here? What's kind of your how are you going to kind of put your stamp on this defense?
For one, so Andy and I knew each other for a long time. We talked a lot of ball. If people really look at it, there's not a lot of difference. There really isn't in the philosophy. The language was the biggest thing for me when I got in, because everybody calls something different. It's like walking in and speaking a new language, right? But any changes and things like that, we actually went over this with the players. It's like really based off, number one, personnel. So whatever they can do in practice and do well. Like, I want to know what a guy can do well. Okay, then you start to add. The more you're good at, the more you get to do. And then it's, can we do it fundamentally sound and technique sound? And that's the thing. What new little tweaks come along will be really due to how we perform in practice. And you're always, every school across the country is trying to get little things in and take care of problems from the past and all those things, whether you were good or not. I think that's really what separates teams too. You don't just say, okay, we're just going to do what we do. But from a structure standpoint, from a belief standpoint, really there won't be that much difference.
We've heard from people that watched you over there, maybe more aggressive. Maybe, I don't know if more. I mean, do you what's your style? I guess you have an aggressive coach.
I think you do.
I
mean, I think you got to believe in a few things, and I think you, in this day and age with the speed of the offense and all that, you've got to try to dictate and take some shots. There's no question about it. And I wouldn't say that we haven't done that here. I mean, there's been some they got there's blitz packages in and all those things like anybody else. But you got to make sure that you do a little dictating as well.
I know you had no say in the schedule, but they didn't do you any favors for your first game, having to coordinate this. I mean, obviously there's going to be some athletes in that game down in Jacksonville.
No question, but I mean that's exciting stuff, right? I mean that's what you want to play in those big games like that, and we hope to play teams like that every single year. There's no doubt about it.
At Eastern Washington, you would obviously play a few. I think
sure.
Like an FCS, you played an FBS team every year, or just about every
and we
year?
had some success. Yeah. We had some close games, and then 2014 or 13, we beat Oregon State when they were ranked 25th. We beat Wazoo in 2016.
Do you kind of view these games against like Florida State this year? Do you kind of view them in the same vein that you view those FBS games when you were at Eastern?
Well, I think somewhat, because it's exciting to be on that stage and to go prove yourself. But I mean, I think Boise State's proved themselves pretty well too. So it's not quite the same as going from that level and having that shot. But yeah, I mean, anybody you play, I mean, that's your number one focus throughout that week. Our biggest focus, though, I will say, and I know it sounds like coach speak, but like I want to have a great practice one, and we have to have a fall camp. I think when you get in trouble is all you're thinking about is a month from now. Well, a month from now, there's a lot of work in between that. So that's really what we're trying to get our focus on right now. We've watched them, of course, and they've watched us and all that stuff, and we have a plan in place. But I think you can't look past practice one, practice two, and so on.
What are you expecting out of David Moa this year? I mean, he's a guy that obviously everybody had really high hopes for. He could barely stay on the field last year. I mean, is he healthy and ready to go? And what do you expect out of David?
I can't wait to watch David. I'll be honest with you. He didn't practice this spring, but his from a leadership role and the respect role on this team, I'm excited to watch him. I mean, that's one of the things. One of the things I'll say is I think from a leadership standpoint, that's one of the things I'm excited about with him. When he talks, people listen, and you need that within your team to get where you want to go.
I mean, he's at least in some capacity going to be out there tomorrow, right? I mean, he's ready to go, I guess, or at least he's on the right track to.
He's working his butt off right now, so I'm excited to see him.
Well, I guess generally with this defense, what do you see as the strengths, and just what do you hope to get done this next month?
Well, I think you have to point to what we call the tip of the spear. The defensive line is definitely a strength. There's no doubt about it. But I do think there are guys, there are impact players on every level, which is exciting. I mean, that's a huge deal. When you look at great defenses, they're usually not just D-line or just linebackers or just secondary. Usually there's a guy or two on every level, and I think we have the ability to do that. The biggest thing for us in fall camp, though, is taking that depth and moving it up. up. You know what I mean? Like developing dependable depth is probably the number one thing in this camp, is to make sure that, okay, we have impact guys on every level, but the next guys have to get to that point.
Maybe none bigger than Curtis. You know,
Oh man. Yeah.
what can, you know, obviously, what is his potential this year? We're already seeing him on mock drafts and stuff for next year. How do you kind of keep him zeroed in and doing what he's done the last couple of years?
Well, I'll tell you, another thing that I've been impressed with him, and it really showed in the last few months, is where he is starting to take more of a voice. You know, he's just not out there being a great athlete and all those things. Like the thing that people don't understand about Curtis Weaver, he's very, very smart. He's very smart. He knows. I mean, he knows what he's talking about in meetings. He doesn't miss much at all. I'm excited to work with him, and to see him kind of in the last few months start to take leadership role is exciting, you know. But we're gonna get to work, and there's things that he can work on just like everybody else. He knows exactly what those things are, and so just like everybody, we're trying to get better. For him, it's like more enhancing things, and for a brand new player, I mean, you're trying to get him up to that point.